So speaking of history, all of our history now resides in Wikipedia, and people believe that it's true. And for a time, it was worth believing. Now it's run by people whose political agenda supersedes any obligation they might feel to honesty or fact. So Wikipedia, case in point, has just deleted the entry on Hunter Biden's investment firm, Rosemont Seneca Partners. That's the firm that funded research on deadly pathogens in Ukraine through a DoD contractor, which happened, despite the fact they tell you it didn't happen, it did happen. Period. Biolabs in Ukraine. That's true. And the fact that they flip out and call you names for saying it tells you just how true it is. By the way, raised a bunch of money in China. Chinese officials in turn funded the company. Joe Biden knew all about this. This show obtained a photo of Joe Biden golfing with his son and members of Rosemont Seneca's board. And we aired it, and they hated that. But now, President Biden insists there's nothing to see here. Watch.
Mr. Vice President, how many times have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings.
And so how do you know?
Here's what I know. I know Trump deserves to be investigated.
Oh, yeah, I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. That's a lie, provably so. No one knows that better than Miranda Devine, a columnist of the New York Post, who's written a great book on Hunter's laptop. She joins us tonight. Miranda, thanks so much for coming on. What do you make of this?
Well, look, yesterday, Stephen Nelson, who's the New York Post's Washington correspondent, asked Joe Biden himself, as he was walking by, why Hunter Biden's business partner, Eric Schwerin, had gone to the White House 19 times to visit his office. And Joe Biden just brushed past and didn't answer the question, even though he heard it. This is unsustainable for the White House. If Joe Biden was not involved and knew nothing about Hunter's business dealings, why was he meeting so many of his partners? Why did he invite Eric Schwerin to come at least 24 times now, we've found, to the White House, to his office, to meet with him, his wife, and various of his assistants? So, you know, Eric Schwerin wasn't just anybody. He was the president of Rosemont Seneca, the company that's just been wiped out of existence by Wikipedia. He had signature privileges for Joe Biden on his bank accounts. There was one peculiar bank account that Eric Schwerin asked Hunter about moving Joe Biden's money in and out of, and that was called the Wilmington Trust Social Account. What was that account? Now, we know that in Delaware, the U.S. attorney and the grand jury there has been looking into Hunter Biden's business dealings, and they've been asking people who is the big guy. And the big guy we know from Tony Bobulinski is Joe Biden. And remember, Tony Bobulinski is another business partner of Hunter's who Joe Biden met.
Amazing. A little weird. They made all this money from Ukraine, and now we're sending billions to Ukraine. I'm not saying there's any connection.
Funny about that.
It is weird. Miranda Devine, I appreciate you coming on tonight. Great to see you.
Thanks so much.